Welcome to this episode of Founder's Journey with Ryan Mathisen. How are you, Ryan?
I'm doing well, Jeff. How are you?
Good. So, anyways, we're just joking offline and we're carrying to this conversation.
Yeah.
Ryan, it's been a long time. I have known you for almost 6 years now, or 5 years.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
now we get to record an episode together. That's
Nice,
awesome.
man. Yeah. See that full circle. Love it.
Ryan, there's a lot of things going on lately with GloveBox, with acquisition of Better Agency. And but the thing is, I want our audience to get to know you, get to know your whole journey. So if you want to address the news that just hit the wire and then just go back to the beginning and talk about your vision and how
Yeah.
the recent acquisition continued to fit the GloveBox vision.
That's a lot to unpack, man. Yeah, we did just recently announce our acquisition of Better Agency. I like to think about it more like a merger, but we did take take them, bring them into the fold here at GloveBox. We love those guys, man. We've known those guys for a while. They started almost at the same time we did, pretty close. Similar pedigree, background in insurance, growing agencies. Nick was one of the co-founders of IAOA. Guys that are really passionate about the business. Will comes from the CRM space, but has acclimated really deeply into the agency sector. And we resonated with those guys. Their number one priority is for the agent. And that's something that we also really believe here at GloveBox. Everything we do is agency first. We've always felt like the agency gets kind of the short end of the stick. They're kind of underserved, especially when it comes to technology. And man, those guys just shared the same vision we did. So we've always vibed with those guys. We've kind of been running in different directions when it comes to the type of technology that we're building. They went the more CRM, AMS, Rater route, whereas we were really approaching it from the customer side of the house, really looking at it from the policyholder standpoint. So while they were building internal tools for an agency, we were building the external. Man, we always joked one day we'd meet in the middle. And here we are. So, I think we did a podcast on cease and desist like 3 years ago saying, hey, we look forward to seeing you guys in the middle when we get there. Because it's inevitable, right? We're burrowing this way, they're burrowing this way. It's like some point you're going to meet. And that day happened. So
How did that conversation start?
we were chopping it up, gosh, 5 months ago, 6 months ago. We have been working on and conceptualizing a lot of the same CRM capabilities that they already had built. And it became pretty obvious to where they were looking to wind down the AMS capabilities. They kind of learned maybe the hard way that they didn't want to be in the AMS business. I don't blame them. I don't want to be in the AMS business. I'm going to leave that to the players in the space. And so we just started talking about, the CRM and what it had and how it was functioning. And, it really dawned on me that they had a diamond there. They have an amazing CRM in the market, but it got overshadowed by this AMS that they tried to build. And I started talking to some of our mutual customers and everybody seems to love the CRM, how it operates, how easy it is. It doesn't require a technical specialist, a consultant that you have to hire to get it set up. Like it's the way they built it is really, really easy, but really intelligent. Again, a lot of the same things that we were thinking about. And so the conversations just kind of evolved to, hey, you're looking to get out of the AMS business. You've got this great CRM. We have a 20-person engineering team already functioning. We've got a 600 agency client base. You have your client base. Does it make sense for us to kind of come together? And that's kind of how it evolved. So
Is there another component of the new version of GloveBox that's down the road you want to acquire?
Well, right now we're going to focus on this, right? Right now we're going to focus on, so essentially what we're doing is we're going to build the CRM into our platform. Not going to duct tape it, right? We're not going to duct tape the current CRM. We're going to build all those capabilities into our product, and then we're gonna sunset the existing CRM. So my thesis is, hey, these guys have done it once before. They've actually done it twice before. They have a 2.0 that they haven't released. So I got to see that. It's incredible. And, we firmly believe that 90% of the innovation in our space for agents is going to come from the CRM and client experience side of the house. It's probably not going to come from the AMS side of the house. Let's be real. So
Say that one more time.
So we are putting all of our chips into the CRM and client experience side of the house. It will create over 90% of the innovation in our space for agents. You can see the writing on the wall. I talk to agents all the time that are using systems like Agency Zoom, and that's where they're running their agency out of. They're not running their agency out of their AMS. They're running it out of the CRM, which is an interesting place to be, right? If you're a larger entity and you own both an AMS and a CRM and you're charging 10x for the AMS, which you're charging for the CRM, but your agencies are starting to now migrate toward operating out of the CRM, you may have a little bit of an issue, right? So there's an interesting kind of evolution evolving. And again, I'm seeing it as the CRM and the client experience technology are where the business is going to be. And so we want to be at the forefront of that. And with our amazing technology and what Better Agency has on the CRM side of the house, we will be the best product in the space end to end.
A little mic drop moment. I love it.
Yeah.
They were working on Raiders, and I saw Nicholas continue to talk about it. Recall 1, Recall 3, and how's that coming along? Thank you for all your support to our channel. Here is a quick word from our sponsor. Please click on the link below in the comment section to sign up for a demo with Track AI.
What if your insurance sales conversations could work harder for you? Meet Track, your AI-powered conversation intelligence partner. Track automatically captures and analyzes every customer interaction, providing instant call summaries, risk analysis, and AI-driven coaching insights. Say goodbye to manual note-taking and hello to more selling time. Track handles the admin work while you handle the revenue. Fully integrated with your favorite platforms. Plus, get custom AI analysis tailored to your unique business needs. Transform your sales team's performance with Track. Visit track.ai today.
Click the link in the description below to schedule a demo with Track today.
Yeah, so we're not going to do anything with the Raider right now. I built my agency off of one premise, right? Do one thing and do it really well. We take the mindset that you can't be a jack of all trades, right? I don't want to be everything to everybody. I'm not trying to build all these platforms, replicate what's already available, right? That doesn't help anybody. I want to be really, really good at one thing. Again, that's how we built our agency. We were really good at one thing. We scaled to 100 million. It's a business philosophy that I firmly believe in. So right now, we're not going to do anything with the Raider. It's just not our focus right now. We're going to let other people kind of tackle that. We're going to heavily focus on what we're doing.
So usually we start in the beginning, the founders, they came out of high school, they went to college, they built this business. And then today, this episode, we jump right into the acquisition because it's fresh on the way, right? So Ryan, give us a little background about, what you did before.
Came out of college, was in digital advertising for a bit during the recession. That was entertaining. trying to sell advertising to people that don't have any money because it's during the recession. That was a nice kind of hard knocks out of college. I did that for a couple years. My dad had an agency here in Denver. Him and I, would chat regularly, and finally he convinced me to come over and start selling at the agency. I think he paid me like $2,000 a month. It was brutal. He handed me some X dates, said, go nuts. That was back in like 2011. By 2019, we had grown, from the time I started to that point, we had grown over 95 million in premium, all organic growth. Built a 200-person sales team, 35-person CSR team, 90% personal lines. I had started our commercial divisions. We were about 2 years into commercial. We were cranking, man. We were cranking. It was fun. I love insurance. It's stupid to say that. I feel silly saying it. I never thought I would say it, but I love insurance. I love selling it. I love training people how to sell it. I truly believe it's the best kept secret on how to build it.
Are you still involved with that agency, or has it been?
No, so we exited that agency, sold it to private equity in 2019. My dad still runs that agency, so he's still the president over there. Sold to Trucordia, so PCF until about a month ago. Now they're Trucordia, and yeah, they're just cranking away. So
I just have to say what you said earlier. He give you a bunch of X dates. That sounds like the loneliest place to be in insurance. And if
Yeah,
you're a
man.
producer, if you're an insurance producer, getting X dates is such a lonely place.
It is not how I would recommend training new producers. That is not, yeah, if I didn't know them, I would have left. So that is not what I recommend for a training program.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's brutal. So
So let's talk about GloveBox. When did you have the idea? And then, so it went from idea to problem first, idea second, and then you got to build a team to go build this thing. So
I'm sitting at my desk in 2017. I'm listening to my CSRs one day, 45-minute wait times. They're getting screamed at all day. We were getting 15,000 service requests a month. And what I realized is people are just generally confused. They don't care that much. Like we get on the agency side, we think our clients care a lot about their insurance, and they don't. They just want to get it handled. But we think it's this like glamorized romantic experience where we need to like court them and befriend them and make sure that they like us and all this stuff. They don't care. It's like going to the dentist, right? I want to avoid it. Like, yes, I have to go, but I want to be in and out. Like, that's what I want. That's generally how people feel about insurance. And they don't understand the relationship between their agent and the carriers. They just don't. Nor do they care. Like, hey, you handle it. Like, let me know how fast I can get this done. And what I realized is our agency wasn't meeting that expectation of in and out. Get me done. I have this need. If I have to wait on hold for 5 minutes, I'm going to be irritated, right? Because I got better stuff to do. And so I just started looking at the industry and I was like, man, this is so manual. Like, this is crazy how manual this is and how frustrating the experience is for the customer, even though, again, we romanticize it on the agency side and we think we're actually doing right by the client, having them talk to us on the phone so that we can cross-sell them when they're just looking to get an ID card, right? We sell ourselves on this kind of like romantic dream that we're like enhancing their lives in that moment in time. Yes, we're doing an important service. We're obviously, protecting their biggest assets, but at the end of the day, it's not as dire as we make it seem, right? Are there times where we need to show up? Absolutely. Claims time is when you show up, right? Claims time is when you need to be there. Otherwise, we really needed to meet them on a different level. And so that's how I came up with the idea.
So I'm looking at your LinkedIn and you guys posted this news about being compliance safety, compliant the security thing. Can you explain that?
Yeah, man, we just got our SOC 2.
I'm still like halfway understanding it, but I'll let you tell the story.
Yeah, we just got our SOC 2 compliance. So security, what an anomaly, right? Cybersecurity, what an interesting thing. Getting SOC 2 compliant is a mountain. It is a mountain to climb. We had to spend a lot of money, rally up a lot of resources. And it's all to make sure that our customers, our agency customers and carrier and MGA customers' data is secure, right? Too many InsurTechs and technology companies in general sacrifice security to build more product, right? And all you're doing is putting your client at risk, and the client is taking on a lot of the obligations. So we invested a lot of money to get SOC 2 compliant to make sure our customers know that their data is safe and secure, right? So, yeah.
Can you talk about the technical challenge here that it comes with getting that done?
Oh gosh.
Why doesn't everybody just do it?
It's there's a lot of different things that come into it. There's a technology component, there's a process component, there's a operations component. It's not just about achieving a compliance, you have to maintain it as well. At least a dozen different technologies that we had to implement into our tech stack in order to make sure that, we can meet requirements. Intrusion detection software, code scanning, and, the list goes on and on. You have to have policies and procedures and change management, and, let me quantify it as this. When I get a risk assessment from a carrier, it's about 10 pages long worth of stuff. And you have to comply with all of that stuff. It is not easy, man. We spent almost $1 million to get SOC 2 compliant. It's a lot.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we know building tech is expensive, and
Yeah.
you know, offline before we started recording this episode, I talked to you about some of my biggest failures because building techs are very expensive, and
Yeah.
I've been down that road. Let's talk about that. Like when you guys realize that you need institution-backed money, and you
Yeah.
guys raised a Series A.
Yeah, so we self-funded our first kind of $1.3 million.
Mhm.
We raised a seed round, and then we raised an A round, and then we just did a small A extension round. So that's the money that we've raised. I've tried to be very strategic in the way we raise capital.
That's smart. Who's on your cap table?
Yeah, we've got a variety of investors. We've got a large agency out of San Francisco called Heffernan. They're great. Allstate's on our cap table. The ex-CEO of National General's on our cap table. He's great. And then we've got our lead investors out of Atlanta, BIP, who's, they're really big in the B2B SaaS software space, really big in the health tech space. They've been amazing for us.
So the ex-CEO of NatGen, he's a sharp dude, and his team that he worked with that built the private equity to invest, they all sharp guys.
Yeah.
So that's a good connection.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you mentioned how expensive it is to build tech. You can take two avenues, right?
Yeah.
You could build cheap tech, right? And you could kind of band-aid it, and you could put something out and it would work okay. I've always taken the philosophy that invest up front, so you don't have to invest more on the back end to fix it, redo it. I've seen it constantly where tech vendors will duct tape something together to get something in market, and then they completely have to redo the product. And maybe not even twice, 3 times, 4 times. I have a team of 22 engineers now, all in-house. We don't outsource a thing. I spend almost $500,000 a month on engineering. And it's literally just because I know that I'm going to get a quality product for our customers that won't break, won't need to be redone. We don't need to rebuild it in a year, and we can truly innovate on that core piece that we built for the longer term. And so we invest all of the revenue that we get from our customers, we reinvest into the product.
When you say in-house,
Yeah.
so you're not talking about having your tech people in India, Pakistan,
Everybody's
Croatia.
W-2 for us, and they're all stateside except for one of our engineers that got a wild hair and moved from San Diego to the UK because he wanted to go. He wanted a different environment. But everybody for us is W-2. Everybody works for us. So
I'm just thinking about what you just said. Went from a high tax bracket in San Diego to a higher tax bracket.
he's 23 years old.
Well, Linden's a fun place. UK
Live your life,
23-year-old. Yeah, live your life.
Yeah.
Maybe travel a little bit. But so, wow, you guys do not use offshore tech. That's crazy in today's age.
Wow, man.
I
Why
get the
not?
other side to that. I get the other side to that. You give quality product. You're working side by side with people who understand the culture, the need, the fit, the problems.
And if you think about it, I mean, our technology is huge. Like we have 2 iOS engineers. I've got 2 Android engineers. I have our mobile and desktop web team, right? That builds our UI experience. I have our system engineers, our data engineers, our carrier engineers, our security engineers. Like you're talking about a lot of people working to build a single product. And if you implant something that doesn't work well inside of that engine, it's going to break. And so we are very protective of all of those pieces because they all have to dance together, right? To build this product. And I think that's what people miss.
You get it.
Yeah, man.
Man.
Like,
give us some feedback off the beginning when you guys launched, like when you guys started building out this product. Like when I first got it, and we were your customer at one point.
Yeah.
Such a painful thing to say at one point.
I know, man.
So, but like I really thought you guys were like onto something. I was like, wow, this is different because this put everybody on notice.
Yeah.
It's like the product that, there's a lot of things in our life evolve so quickly that it's all right here, right? Like
Right.
everything right here. And I was like, man, why isn't more people evolving as fast as they are on the mobile phone? And you guys get it. You guys went hard at iOS and the Android apps,
Yeah.
and that user experience was what we used to in everything else in our life.
Yeah.
We always thought that insurance user experience is so lagging, right? Talk about that for a second. What's the principle, the thesis behind how everything you guys touch got to fit one way, got to feel one way?
This is a marathon, right? This is not a sprint. We made the decision to build our product in public, right? We didn't wait. We didn't go in stealth mode and build it for 5 years and then come out. Like, we made the decision to put the concept out, put the idea out, and then iterate. I made that decision super early in the project that we're just going to put it out, let people chat about it, see it, understand it, like it, not like it, and we're going to iterate on it over and over and over again. Because again, this is a marathon, man. This is not a sprint. Obviously we knew that mobile apps and managing your insurance on your cell phone, it's not a unique concept, but it's unique to the independent channel because we've been incubated to a degree from technology, and I knew inevitably the chickens would come home to roost, right? At some point, our industry was going to be dragged into these technology advances in our space that are coming. And so I wanted to be at the forefront of it. So I knew it was going to be a bit of survival of the fittest, right? And so we just kept pushing and pushing and pushing, innovating and updating and grinding to get it to where it is today. Not an easy concept, man. Trust me, I've questioned it 1,000 times. Like, hey, is this the right thing? Are people going to take to it? Do people like it? Can we make it? I've got my product roadmap swirling in my head 23 hours a day. So it's like, what's next? What's the next domino? What's the next building block? What do we have to create next to build those 10 things that everybody else wants to see? But at the end of the day, it's ease of doing business, right? I mean, you can't get away from it. And yes, we've been fat and happy as agents. I was there, right? You were there. We were fat and happy as agents. It's very easy to get fat and happy. But the way that happens moving forward is going to be different. It just is. And technology is moving faster than I even expected it to. It is wild how fast it's moving. Agencies are going to evolve or they're going to sell. Like, there's no other way to go get around it because customers will lead the dance. And if customers don't want to work with you, they're not going to work with you. And that's just facts. And so if I can position us as that intermediary to say, hey, let us help you, that's where I want to live. Like, that's where I want to be. And that's the reality of it, man. I didn't make it. I want to be at the forefront of it. That's all.
Customer is going to lead the dance. That is amazing. I love
I'm
that.
not wrong. You know that, right?
Yeah,
Like,
100%.
yeah.
So the company is based out of Denver.
Yep.
Beautiful place. Colorado's amazing. I've been there a couple times. I love it. But there's another tech company based out of Denver as well. And they're in the insurance space as well.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that in our area, whenever you build tech and people are gonna ask you a question, I'm sure you get this all the time, right? Like, oh, you're building software. Oh, you're building SaaS. Oh, you're building mobile app.
Yeah.
How is it like to go up against the two big-headed giant in our space, Vertafore and Applied?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't look at them as adversaries. I find us complementary to them and they're complementary to us. Again, I don't want to play in the AMS game. That's not my gig. Please have at it. I want nothing to do with the AMS business. They have that handled. They do a good job of it. But I like to say we're complementary partners, right? They don't specialize in what we do. We do it better for sure, without a doubt. And again, they do the AMS and we don't. And so, we're a very complementary partner to them and vice versa. And that's the way we like it. It's a symbiotic relationship for us.
Great answer, Ryan.
Yeah, that's the truth.
So I've been following you guys since day one, right? When you guys popped into the scene, when you guys started working with insurance carriers and holding all of their data, their renews in your app, what those initial conversation like talking to a national account team and their tech people? Hey, by the way, we have your data, renews coming up. We like to shoot out renew options on our app. What's those conversation like?
Yeah, no, they weren't they weren't into it at all. No. They told me to pound sand. What are you talking about? Yeah. Man, it's been an interesting kind of evolution over the last 6 years when it comes to carriers.
So without naming any names, any fun story you want to share?
Uh yeah, we one of our first partners was Safeco. They're awesome. Tyler Asher's great. Him and I'll catch up like twice a year, just to kind of shoot it. He's awesome when you get him candid. He's done an amazing job with Safeco and Liberty. I mean, they're just where they've gone. But we were working with it was our second partnership, and we jumped the gun on a press release, and I didn't yet understand the cadence of that. Oh, I need to get approval on this before we send it out. So we just sent it. And that was not good, man. You can't do that. I did not think that one through.
In the corporate world, that must be sending red flags all over the place.
Yeah, they were
running
like,
down the hallway.
yeah.
Emails going out. Come see me at my office.
Oh, my POC got email live. I was like, I'm sorry, man. I didn't know that's how it worked. I'm an agent, man. I don't put out press releases.
Yeah.
That was funny. So, I mean, it's interesting now because here's what's going to happen, right? This is what's going to happen. Mark my words. Carriers are starting to build, and I like to think I had a hand in this because I've been beating their door down for 6 years. They're starting to build API connectivity to feed data through a JSON blob, right? JSON file of data, right? As opposed to the typical conversion to AL3 and download it, right? And so you can kind of understand what that's going to open up. As carriers start to offer other ways to get data, right? That is going to open up the ecosystem. That is what has been blocking the ecosystem. And once that happens, that is going to free up technology in our space to operate the way it could operate, right? By having access to the data. And thus it's going to give agencies a lot more flexibility in the way they can operate. That is the ticket, man. That is the key to our entire industry's evolution of technology, is other ways to get access to data. That's the only thing blocking it right now. So it's going to happen. I just met with a top 3 carrier on Monday, and they're finally building this out right now. And so it's going to happen. And as that happens, we are going to see a huge shift. It is going to be the Wild West at that point, in a good way, not in a bad way, in a good way. Buckle your seatbelt, man. It's going to be interesting.
Grok 3 is coming out, and ChatGPT Sora just came out, right?
Yep.
OpenAI Sora. Every single day, there's like a new news. We're almost beginning to get numb to how fast AI is evolving. And the only thing, some people say now, which I agree with, that have stopping insurance in moving as fast is unstructured data that's not connected.
It's the only thing blocking it at the moment, because agents can't efficiently use AI engines right now to run core systems because you don't have a reliable data feed to operate it. Once that happens, yeah, it's going to be wild to watch. Customers are going to have their AI talking to the agency's AI to get their insurance figured out. Like, that's how it's going to go. I'm dead serious, man. I'm gonna have my assistant AI go figure out my insurance.
And then there's gonna be another AI in the room recording the compliance of both of them.
Yeah, man.
Taking notes.
Yeah, it's gonna be AI talking to an AI getting the insurance done or served.
Nowadays we're jumping on a Zoom, especially if you have 3 different parties on the Zoom, and everybody have their AI note taker. I'm like, there's more AI note taker in this room than humans.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and you're right. All the compliance is going to be AI as well. It's like, I can't do that. Need to adjust the model there. So, yeah, I don't.
So let's talk about consumer experience for a second.
Yeah,
And there's a lot of language in this country.
right.
Are you guys doing anything on that side?
So like multi-language capabilities? Yeah. So we support English, Spanish, and Chinese. We're going to be opening that up to like over 100 languages here in
Yeah.
2025. So yeah.
I did a Google research on the top 10 spoken language in the US.
Yeah.
And not Google research, I just Googled it, right? And I was shocked that Chinese was number 3. What was number 4 and 5? Do you
That's a
remember?
great question. I have no idea.
I think Russian is one of them
Good
as
question.
well.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, that's not going to be a barrier. Yeah.
yeah. No, especially with AI, it's moving so fast. So on the subject of AI, like every VC, when they're getting a little project in front of them,
Right.
another race, right? They're like, what AI do you have? So let me ask you guys the question. Like, what
Yeah.
AI are you guys working on?
We are being very strategic about the way we are thinking about AI. Look, you have to have the building blocks in order to put AI on top.
All right.
We're still building the blocks. So I'm not going to put the roof on if I haven't finished the wall, right? Because it wouldn't make sense. So as part of this acquisition with Better Agency, it's helping us build these final walls to our product. And from there, we can start layering on all of these AI concepts. You talked about the rater and looking at a new way to quote, a new way to bind business, a new way to cross-sell. And that's, by the way, not just in personalized and small commercial. We're talking about middle market and large commercial as well. So it's not just the whole segment of those two spaces are open for business. But yeah, again, you have to have the walls built to put the roof on. And so for us, we're very, very focused on getting those walls done. And it's, again, part of this Better Agency acquisition is we want to get this thing really tight and really nice.
Something you just said got me thinking about some of your competitors. Some building it, some didn't make it, but they jumped really, really fast and forgot their foundations.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And you have to see it, right? It's like you can't do this until you do this, this, and this. And so it's natural. Customers will come to us and they say, well, I don't understand why it does this. And it's like, because we don't have this, this, and this yet, which here's our roadmap, right? These will be out next quarter. It's where we can build that. But like, you can't have a solid technology without a solid foundation. And this is a big project. There's a lot of pieces to it. And so you have to have those building blocks really secure before you continue to build on top of it. But at the end of the day, what do you get? You get an enterprise grade, extremely innovative product that actually makes an impact and a change for our customers. And that's what the goal is. So I hate when people call us a tool. I'm not a tool. A tool is a screwdriver. I'm not a screwdriver, right? No. We are a core technology. We are not a tool. So yeah, we'll leave other people to the tool building.
Any other roadmap coming out in 2025?
Oh my God. How much time you got?
Let's go.
We got a lot, man. So obviously the CRM capabilities are going to be the big one. We'll have our version 1 out by end of Q1. So I've got an engineering and product team that are just solely focused on that. They've already started. We want to create really, really nice automation, omni-channel communication back and forth between the customer, the agent, the carrier, and the MGA all on our platform. And so everything that we're doing in 2025 is going to evolve around that. It's going to be slick and I can't wait. So yeah, that's really our heavy focus for 2025. We just recently relaunched our book of business connectivity, which again is our full book of business, API connected to carriers, allows agencies to stream their entire books of business with with documents into our platform. So we are booked out almost through the end of 2025 with new carriers that we're going to be integrating onto that. So again, we'll have this ecosystem that's fed by our own proprietary pipes directly from the carriers, which is awesome. So that's something that we're going to be heavily pushing. And then we're rolling out another segment of our business. We're going to be building mobile apps and client portals for carriers and MGAs. And it's going to be connected to their agents' platforms. So you've got like this ecosystem that we can create, which nobody else can do but us. So it essentially gives these carriers and MGAs an extremely dynamic platform, unlike anything else they have currently. So
I love that
yeah,
because there's so many carriers think, oh, we're going to build over buy
yeah.
or white label. And when they get to it, they realize how much resource it actually takes to do things. And they realize we could have just bought 2 years ago and had to deliver a better experience.
Well, that and it's just them, right? Like it's just the carrier. Like, there's no
Yeah.
agent involved, and so they slap up the agency's phone number on the mobile app and say, "Well, here's their phone number if you want to call them." That's not an experience, right? Now the client's like, "Ugh, that sucks." What we've done is we've created this ecosystem where the client can be operating inside of the platform with both the agent and the carrier, but they're at the carrier's platform, which is beautiful. That opens up a world of opportunity when it comes to cross-selling, retention activities, driving service to the agency, but automating it and not to the carrier, which just drives their service costs through the roof. It's really an interesting kind of parallel that's coming into play. I'm excited to see it come to fruition. It's unlike anything available.
And there's so many regional carriers, MGA popping up these days.
Yeah.
And if you can build a mobile app for them, it leapfrog their timelines.
Mobile app, client portal, and it also sets them apart from everybody else because
Yeah.
best believe as we're coming out of this hard market, agents are going to have more options than ever to write business with because all these MGAs popped up, right? And all these new carriers popped up. And so now there's a lot of competition. Agents are going to work with who serves them best, right? And that means technology. That means automation. That means streamlining service and sales. And so that's the positioning that we offer carriers and MGAs, a market advantage. So
We got a little bit of time left. I schedule a hard 11, but
you're good.
I'm super interested in watching you guys grow in the next 6 to 12 months and especially merging the team together, different dynamic, different
Yeah.
personalities. But I think adding Will and Nick to your team, that that is really intriguing to watch because I have a lot of respect for those guys, especially when Nick is very public, when he posts his YouTube posts, his Facebook posts, and the guy is sharp. And now you're adding that personality, that brain to your team.
Yeah, Nick is sharp, man. Nick is misunderstood. Nick is misunderstood. He's well, he has no filter, which is a good and a bad thing, right? He's toned it down a lot over the past couple of years, but honestly, I was intimidated is not the right word, but I was on my toes bringing those two guys in because they are sharp, right? And I want to make sure that they're coming into an environment where they see the incredible opportunity that we see, right? And plugging them in. And, Nick is the guy is just genuine to his core, love him or hate him. The guy is just genuine. He cares about agents. He doesn't need to be doing this, right? He doesn't need to be building technology for agents. He could easily go start another agency and be just fine, but he just loves the space, love him or hate him. He loves the space. And, yeah, I'm happy to have them on our team. It's going to be fun.
Ryan, since this just happened, I'll give you guys 6, 9 months to absorb it. Love to have you guys on again so we can reflect back on this a year from now.
Do it.
And all the 2025 roadmap you guys got going on. I'm excited to hear about it down the road. And man, good luck. I'll be watching you guys and cheering you guys on.
Yeah, thank you, Jeff. We appreciate it. Yeah.
So thank you very much to coming on the podcast, and we're looking forward to it.
Thanks.